Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to the Ripple Effects server. Today is finally the day where we're going to finish the island, at least for the main part. We're going to add a bunch of trees around basically, is my plan. I've been sort of holding off doing this for quite some time because I wanted to do all the buildings around first, at least the main ones. Putting all the trees in doesn't necessarily mean we can't add anything else, it just means it will make it a lot harder. So I wanted to add everything that I definitely wanted on the island in place before any foliage got added, which I think we are at a point of now where that has been completed, so we're ready for trees really. What I'm going to do first of all is just hop over to my creative testing world where I've got a bunch of tree designs laid out so I can give you a sneak peek of what the island's hopefully going to look like. So these are the trees that I have come up with. You also may notice some builds that look somewhat familiar in the background, maybe. Big dragon with one wing apparently. Turns out I didn't want to finish it in creative mode. Anyway, so these are the trees, and you may recognize this one because it's the one in the center of the panda playground. Can never say those two words. In the center of the panda playground. I still haven't really perfected what it looks like. I'm probably going to need to do some more work on that. So that's one, big one, and then we've got another big one over here, which now I don't really know what any of these trees are supposed to be, except that's a palm tree. They're all sort of just my own ideas. They probably look like some sort of tree in real life, but I'm no tree expert. Not sure what they're called, but I am not that. Yeah, so we've got these two big trees here and a bunch of small trees because we do need small trees. I just wanted to add some different designs, so we've got a bit of diversity around the island, but I think I need to come up with a few more, especially ones of the medium size. I'd like to say I'm having a really nice and relaxing time making these custom trees, but in reality, I am not. I find the process of making them kind of tedious and annoying, and they take a long time, but I just keep telling myself that it's going to be worth it in the end because they are significantly better looking than the normal vanilla sapling grown ones, so yeah, just gotta keep reminding myself of that. It's all gonna be worth it, but I'm gonna stop for now with the big trees because I'm not honestly too sure how dense I want to make the island. So I'm gonna leave it for now and possibly add some more at the end. But you may notice there's a difference between this tree, this absolute abomination, and this tree. That is what this is meant to look like. I've basically just rounded off the leaves at the top instead of making it this horrible square mess. I kind of want to rebuild that, but at the same time I don't really care enough. But as you can tell, I didn't quite finish. I've still got some scaffolding up there because apparently 4 shulker boxes of jungle leaves is not enough, so we need to go do some deforestation. So it turns out I had 2 full stacks of shulker boxes with jungle leaves in, so I didn't need to go get any more, which has saved me some time, so that's nice. But as you can tell, I have placed some more trees around, so let's just take a fly around. If that's a possibility. Oh, thank you, Cat, for sleeping. Yes, so you'll be able to see it a bit brighter in a second. I placed pretty much like 4 of every big and medium tree, and then a slightly more amount of all the small ones. I think this is a good amount, honestly. I was debating on whether to make this like full-on rainforest type thing, but I don't think I've got the skill nor the time to pull that off. I think it would look really cool if I could basically coat this entire island in leaves, pretty much. Well, attached to trees, leaves on trees. But yeah, it's just going to take too much time, resources, and effort to do. And I'm hoping I can save it with bone meal, is my plan. So it looks a little weird at the moment, but I think that's just because the rest of the stuff that hasn't got trees on it is just plain grass. So fingers crossed, I'm going to just probably pick a little area and bone meal the crap out of it and hope it looks somewhat decent. Obviously, we are going to place some other stuff around. Not really too sure what yet, but before I do that, I want to kind of create the quote-unquote pathways. So what I think I'm going to do is get these spruce fence posts and lanterns and sort of dot them about, not like I'm doing here, I'll definitely change what I'm doing here, but like that with the lantern on top so that it sort of illuminates where you'll need to be going. Obviously I'll sort of put them on both sides so it actually looks like a pathway, but we're not going to actually have proper pathways because I cannot decide on a design, so we're just going to stick with plain old grass. Basically the pathway will be where there isn't any bone meal. So from all the way up here, you can't really notice too much of a difference, but if we just dive down a little bit lower, a bit closer to the ground, you can see it actually, well, in my opinion at least, oh, bit of a lag spike, makes it look quite a lot better. And I mean, bone meal is just such a wonderful thing, really, and the best thing about doing it on a mushroom island is you don't get any flowers of any type. Like usually you'd get yellow or red, or I don't even know what they're called, dandelions and poppies. You'd get them sprouting up everywhere, but on a mushroom island, you get nothing except grass, which is really helpful because what I want to do, I think, is just chuck in a bunch of flowers everywhere just to add some color to this place. Maybe we'll add in some bushes as well and some ferns, perhaps. Yeah, and I think we're also going to need to add in some more trees because yeah, I think we could do with a few more. But there is something I'm contemplating doing with, if I just land down on the pathways here, you can see they kind of look a little bland and boring with not a lot going on. So I could either go back to my original idea of coming up with a pathway design, which I don't particularly want to do, or I could just do something really simple like the path block, just sort of sprout it, or like do that every now and again. Can I have a dirt? Oh, this is what I do. I go well out of my way just so I can middle click. Yeah, maybe I can do that. And there's also a little cave that you can access from the surface around here, which honestly I completely forgot about until I bone mealed this area. So perhaps we could do something with it. I mean, when I say do something with it, I mean maybe just like make it come out somewhere else on the island. It would have no purpose whatsoever, other than just being kind of cool. Oh my god. I don't believe my eyes. Not one, but two sin heads. Unbelievable. I'm very happy to see these heads on a pike, kind of. So I'm fairly certain this was Albany. Well, in fact, I'm almost positive because he said he was going to leave them at my base. So Albany, thank you so much. I no longer have to grind for several hours at the double zombie spawner trying to get one of these damn things. Yeah, so now we've got two sin heads, although we only need one. Maybe I'll just leave that one there for a little bit. But this allows me to go and yeah, place the rest of the server heads down, which, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself, we will do in a second in the next clip. But as you can tell, things are looking a little more colourful around here. So let's take a fly around. I've basically just placed a lot of flowers in. I haven't done anything else other than the cave, which I'll show you in a second. But the flowers help tremendously, I think. It makes the whole island just seem a lot more colourful and vibrant and kind of really nice. I'm glad they turned out okay. I was a bit worried it was going to make it look kind of tacky in a way. That's maybe not the right word to use, but I was thinking it might make it look kind of bad. But I think the flowers help. There's like a stack of each. So, yeah, lots of flowers on the island, but hopefully I haven't gone too overboard on it. I don't think I have. I also decided not to add in any trees. I may end up, before the episode ends, adding more, but for now I think I got enough. But yeah, let me show you the cave here. It's really nothing special. I've pretty much just done what we've got going on underground throughout the whole of this thing. So just lots of slabs and stairs basically, and some lanterns on some cobble and andesite walls, which goes all the way through. It's a long tunnel to the other side by the coral lake pond here, which adds a little hole in that wall there, which I think looks kind of cool. I kind of want to fly all the way through it, but unfortunately it's just not big enough to do so, and my flying skills, as you can tell, are not exactly too great. So, yeah, I think that's the only things I've done. Maybe I've probably forgotten something, but yeah, that's all I've got going on. Oh, and a bunch of ferns I've placed. So, Decoy, you need to replenish your fern section in your store at the embassy area, because I may have bought you out with that one. So we now have 3 new captains at the dock. We got Captain Cartisel on board the yacht, and then over here on the seaplane, Captain Bank, and then YD over here, a little more tricky to see. I'm not going to be able to see from that far down. Oh god, okay, let's take a land. Yeah, just about. She's a little short. Can't really see where she's going. I probably should have put a half slab here in hindsight, but I would have to break all of like the armor stand and then get 3 new name tags, and it's just not worth it. I'm drowning now. And then, as you can see over there, we've got a little plane, which actually, trying to do this without revealing. There we go. Okay, which is actually on fire. It's stopped working. The engine's exploded. You can actually sit and flick the lever. And yeah, the pilot they had to bail. And oh wow, that was a terrible reveal. The back end of the plane's in the way. We've got Sin parachuting in with his black and white checkered parachute there. It was really kind of tricky to make a parachute. I didn't really know how to do it. I wanted to use leads, but obviously leads have to be attached to an entity or like an animal or something, and I just couldn't make it work. But I think that looks okay. So yeah, that's where we've got Sin, which it looks really cool. I think I quite like the plane. It looks okay. Let's actually give you a proper view of it. Can we see it from here? Yeah, it looks okay. I've used the grindstones as wheels. I thought that was quite a nice touch. They kind of like wheels, don't they? Admittedly, they're square, but this is Minecraft after all. So let's just do a quick recap on where all of the mini server members are, because that is now all 20-something of us placed. So I believe the first mini server member that we placed was actually myself. We placed this little guy down in the episode where we built this mansion here, the MTV Cribs like spoof type thing, parody. I can't remember what I called him. I want to say I called him Armand. That may be wrong. But yeah, so we've got little Marlowe / Armand here holding a little cookie. And then down in another portal room we have Mini Madcat controlling all of the switches and buttons to get this nether portal working. And if we go up the bubble column, you will find Magoo going head to head against Billy in a tennis match. We did this, was this last episode? I think so. And Croc as umpire. In the spoils container vault here, inspired by the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, we have Aubrey, who is of course pantsless. If we take a dive in the swimming pool and head on up to the hot springs cave, you will see Mini Duds at the bar serving us a drink. A very shiny one at that. Heading into the guest house here, we can find Mini Receptionist Carl doing a fantastic job, may I say, and then head through the secret painting. I said head through the secret painting, down into the casino. We find Link dealing some cards, and Para, once again, serving the bar with not a shiny drink, just a water for me then, I guess. If you can just about see up there, we've got a Mini Brownie Bits landing the helicopter, with his headset on of course. Flying on down to the Tiki Beach, we find ourselves a Tiki Bar. Lots of bars at my island, I've noticed. We've got Winter, Crafty, and Danoobs. Inside the business building, we've got another receptionist in the form of Tuxedo Cat. So there's Tux, once again, doing a marvellous job. And then we've got the 3 jet ski riders. We've got Jimbo there, slide across. We got Menno there on the orange one, and Decoy on the blue one over there. You can just about see his face. And then, as you just saw, YDYT in that one, Bank in this one, and Carto in this one. And of course, how could I forget? Sin's up there. And then if we head up the very long bubble column of our CN tower here, eventually, one day when we get there, we will find, the suspense is killing me, we will find Carlock. And then last but not least, over on Villager Island here, inside their little home, we find ourselves Freddy Bushboy doing, I'm not exactly sure what, but he's got an emerald in his hand. So yeah, I hope that's everybody. Fingers crossed I haven't missed anyone. I'm terribly sorry if I have, but I'm almost certain I haven't. Obviously, we don't have Schrodinger's Cat or HB Dev, our 2 newest members, because their heads are currently not in the data pack where we get them from. But when they do, obviously we will kill some zombies and try and get them so that we can add them to the island, hopefully one day. But there's also one extra thing that I've done, which you may be able to tell, related to the trees. They're rather bright. So in all of the big and medium ones, I've added 2 or 3 or 1, depending on the size, glowstones. Just so it looks a bit more nice at nighttime, I think. It really adds something. Glowing trees are such a simple but really quite effective little thing to do. I think the last thing that I want to do to finish this episode off and wrap things up with the island is to actually head over to the villager house, which you may be thinking, why? How is that related to the island? It's not even attached. In fact, it's a completely different island. That's because this building is where the map is held. Well, one of them actually. I have another one in my nether portal. But as you can tell, this is not very updated at all, so I think we need to do something about that. And there we go. That looks 10 times cooler. You can even see all the little pathways. Well, I think you can anyway. I'm pretty sure that's what those dots are on the open bits of grass, or the like sea lanterns that we placed. You can see the wind. Let's get my cursor up. You can see the wind turbines there, the bridge, the vault there. I can't even remember what was there before. The tennis court looks really cool. I know the Tesla coil's been there the whole time, but I think that's a really cool looking one from the map perspective. But yeah, and of course, Sin's parachute there. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, I do really like the vehicles from this view as well. You can see the plane there too. I think that's everything of noteworthy. You can see all the shrines for the beacons dotted around. What is that over there? That bit of white. Oh, part of a beacon, I believe so. And there's a tree in the way, and the panda playground there. Oh, it's so cool. That's really sweet. I need to do that for the Nether portal, for the one in the Nether tunnel, but I can't really be bothered at the moment. But yeah, that's really cool looking. Okay guys, I think that's actually going to be it for today's episode. I know it might be a little shorter than the usual ones, but that's okay because I am really happy with how this island has all turned out and everything we've done today. I hope you guys like it too. What I will say is, admittedly this is a finished project, but that doesn't mean we can't add anything else to the island. It just means if I decided not to, it would still be, the island would still be done. But, the option is always there to add more if we ever so choose to. But yeah. Oh, also that does not include the underground bit of the base. I'm gonna do those 2 remaining farms another time. I'm not really in a rush to do that at the moment, but the top of the island here is all complete and done, and yeah, as I said, it feels nice to say that. But yeah, I think we're gonna end off here, guys. I have actually taken some still videos with a shaders pack. Still videos meaning videos except I don't move a muscle because, well, basically my computer absolutely sucks, so I can barely run a shaders pack, so I can even more barely run a shaders pack whilst recording, and I certainly can't fly around with a shaders pack making a montage whilst I record. So yeah, they're basically just videos of the island looking all nice with the trees waving, and yeah, it's nice, I promise you. So I'll let that play out instead of the usual ripple music. Hopefully some other music is coming into your ears around about now. But yes, guys, thank you ever so much for watching this episode. I hope you did enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.